Who is Bazale? He is essentially, it's as if he's our son.
Hi everyone.
I've known him for 10 years.
My name is Bazale.
When the charity found them, they weren't living in great conditions. We've always loved Bazale. We are now finally deciding to put him back through school. Hi Bazale!
Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. So, something we get asked about quite often is, who is Bazale? Who is this boy that is always in our videos, that obviously looks like he lives in our house, and he does. And I just thought I've never done a dedicated video about Bazale, and he's just been in a few videos over the years. Basically, he is a member of our family. He is 21 now, I think, and he is essentially, it's as if he's our son. Like, there is a really big backstory to it all, and we will get to that, but we have decided that Bazale, we want to support Bazale to go back to school because he never finished, and so we're going to start the video with that. So I'm going to hand you over to him. I'm really interested to see the whole story and what's going on in his, his point of view, and then later I will fill in any gaps there might be.
Hi everyone. My name is Bazale, but not really, but my name is Martin. That's the real name, yes. Some of you, like, you don't know me, but it's time to know me. I already started like being with Auntie Emilie like long time ago, but you don't know, but it's time to know. Long time ago, like, I used to be with Auntie Emilie like at Whisper, like long time. I used to go to school like young. I was young, yeah, but like a time came and I went back the village, my home, and I had like also I went to school there in my village, my home. I used to go to school like 2 years, like, yes, 2 years I was absent when Auntie Emilie, like, he doesn't know where I am. So now I came back, I found a school there, and I'm going to learn like slowly, yeah. So I want to join like secondary because long time ago I was absent like 2 years, and 2 years, that is P6 and the P7. Yeah, now like I have to join secondary. They have to teach me fast and remember everything. So I forgot everything. I have to remember. So that's why I'm going back to learn. Yeah, I want to begin seriously learning. A long time ago I was absent to Auntie Emilie, was looking for me everywhere, and I was absent. So I will not talk much about that. And that story, like, it's a long time ago. But now I'm back. Some of you were asking me like, who is that? But it's time to know me. I'm real Bazale, but I came back with another name, so I changed it. I really changed it. My name is Martin now. Yeah, but Auntie Emilie doesn't like that name, but yeah, but I changed it. Yeah. So when you grow up, you can change what you want. So for me, I changed my name. Now I want to start like new life. Now I'm here. I'm doing everything what Auntie Emilie wants. Yeah, I'm helping her now some things. Yeah, but she's funny. I help her like finding the, you know, she can't find things, yeah. I help her find like clothes, yeah. You know, when she asks like, where's my clothes? This one, Bazale, come. Oh my god, I go and find like, you know, she's not good at finding things, yeah. So I'm very helpful here, and also I help some other things. Yeah, like the dogs. Yeah, I'm joining this family like slowly. Yeah.
So I'm here with Bazale, Alfred, and we're about to go into town now to get Bazale all registered at, what is it called? It's an adult education centre, but it's like based at one of the primary schools, but in the evening, so he'll have classes in the evening. Yeah, so we're going to go and try and get him registered, pay his school fees, and then buy him any requirements he might need.
Yeah, we'll go.
We're at the school. This is a government school, isn't it, Alfred?
But they have a government school.
Oh. I got like, what's this? What's that?
Where did that?
I don't know. The shoe polish. They've already been here to pick up that paper, and they've forgotten where the office is. Just waiting for the lady to come and open the office, which is through there, I believe. I know you can't tell a lot from one video, but the government schools are just don't maintain them. They're so run down. Okay, so there has been a change of plan, and Bazale is actually going to go into the S4 class because I didn't realise. Where are we? Now I'm lost. Where did we come from?
Anyway, this one.
I didn't realise they can, as an adult, you can actually sit your secondary without doing your like primary leaver examinations, because generally the other kids, they can't go to an actual secondary school unless they've got their PLEs, but he can sit, so he's not going to do, because it's also too late for registration this year for PLEs, so he's going to join the S4 class. So he'll do a couple of years of studying, and then he'll sit his S4 exams, which are your O levels, which is like your equivalent to your GCSEs. So he starts tonight. Got to be here at 5:30 tonight?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And then now we are really quickly going to head into town to buy him like some stationery and things that he needs. And yeah, that's about it. Bazale has first come to pick a bag, a school bag, to keep all his books. How much are they? How much? How much?
35. That's this one.
That one? Take it out the bag and see. Maybe you keep that bag, it's helpful. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh.
Is it big enough, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, that's the one. Alright, Bazale's got his list. Buy all the bits in here. It's really busy because all the kids are going back to school, so everywhere is so busy. Okay, our station is way too busy and we're in a big rush, so we're just going to try somewhere else quickly. This is better, far less of a queue. They have these flexi rulers. I used to have these when I was at school.
We are.
Is it now evening?
Yeah.
And we're, ow! Something sharp hurt my finger. And where are we going?
To school.
School, Bazale's first day. Time to get a first day picture. It's nice. Bye, Bazale! Bazale's back! How was it?
Good.
What did you learn?
Biology
Mm-hmm.
and mathematics.
Was the maths hard?
Very hard. The biology is simple.
Is it?
Yeah.
I couldn't do GCSE maths now. I would fail.
Like slowly.
But it was good, the teachers were good?
Yes.
You tired?
Yes.
But are you happy?
Yes. Of course.
Good. Right guys, so Bazale's story and how he ended up living with us, etc, 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 from my point of view. I have checked with him and he is happy for me to share all the details. So we will rewind right back to the beginning when we first met. So back in 2014, when I first came to Uganda, I came to volunteer for a charity and I came to volunteer at a children's home. And that is where I met Bazale. Now Bazale was not living at the children's home, but his younger brother John was, and John is one of the children that we still support today through CEDA. In fact, he's the oldest child we support. Technically an adult, but still a child at heart and a child to me.
So I'm here and I am going to show you where my dormitory is and where I sleep. So follow me.
Now Bazale and their older brother Grace had been helped by the children's home, but at this point they were just coming for visits, coming for weekends and things like that. They had been moved back to the village.
My name is Grace. I'm 15 years old. When I'm old, I want to work with computer.
My name is Emilie John. I am 9 years old. I am going to be pilot.
My name is Bazale. I am 11 years old. My dream is to be DJ.
All three boys were AIDS orphans. When the charity found them, they weren't living in great conditions. They've got a lot of older siblings and they were living with them, but they weren't taking great care of them. I loved so many of the kids at the children's home, but as you know, I bonded very specifically with Adam, but as well as Adam, it was these three boys. We grew so close and I was just supporting them in any way that I could. I remember I went to Grace's visitation day and he said, will you come? You're my mum, will you come? Bazale was just, he was just honestly a remarkable kid. He was about 11 at this point. And he had so much rhythm. He was always playing drums. He always had the biggest smile on his face, and he was great with Adam as well. And honestly, I just loved them so much. So I spoke to the charity director, and together we decided to support them further. So I decorated, because their village was quite far away, we rented a room quite near the children's home, which we decorated. I remember just painting it with one of the other volunteers and setting it all up for the boys to live in, and the idea was one of their older brothers would come too and then we'd support them through school. But it didn't work. The older brother was just not responsible, and even though he was sharing a room with his three younger brothers, he was bringing home different ladies every night. He just was not capable of looking after these boys and giving them the guidance they needed in life. Anyway, the time came when I was going to leave and go back to the UK, and I just so distinctly remember standing on the veranda of the children's home with the boys, and it was really emotional, and they were just saying, but you can't go, like, you're our mum, who's going to look after us? They didn't actually call me mum, but they were just like referring to me as that like figure in their life. And I promised them I wouldn't give up on them, and I printed a huge photo album for the photos of all our time together because we'd had such fun. And I did leave, but I did keep my word and I did support them. So whilst I was back in the UK, as well as supporting Adam, I sent the boys to school and I paid for all their food and all their living costs. So then when I moved back out in 2016 to adopt Adam, I decided I'd let them come and live with us. And this is where everything just went so wrong. Now I look back on it, I can see maybe the errors I made. I can just see it from a whole other perspective. Also just like all the sort of adoption and trauma training I've done, I think, in my life now has also kind of informed me. But also, I was 24 when I moved back out here. And these boys by that point were 13, 14, 15, they're teenagers. And I was just not equipped at 24 to raise teenagers. But I loved them and I wanted to do my best. One thing that just came up time and time again was my adoption of Adam. And they just seemed so dismissive of it. They just kept saying it would never happen. But it was just weird how much they said it. And I think looking back on it now, it was some form of, not envy, but you know, I would have jumped at the opportunity to adopt them as well, but you have to be 21 years older and we're too close in age. It just wouldn't, the dynamic is just not right. Even though in so many ways they feel like my kids, like I wouldn't have been able to. And I think looking back on it, perhaps the fear of abandonment again, because they knew my aim was to adopt Adam and to leave, and I just don't know, you know, this is just my speculation, what I think looking back on it, but things just changed. I also felt immensely guilty about it all. I tried so hard, I gave so many chances, but I was paying for them to go to school. They weren't going to school. Just like lies, stealing. It was just never ending. And this was not John, by the way, this was the two. This was Grace and Bazale. John, was it? No, I think I was supporting John through boarding school. John was still with, because he had like other children his age at CEDA, so he was at boarding. He just came in the holidays. Anyway, we did end up asking Grace to leave, and Grace left, and hoping that Bazale would change, but unfortunately he didn't. And I don't want to go into like too much detail about all the exact small things that happened. One big thing, like I was literally, it was like the last chance, and I wrote him a long letter, and I gave it to Josh to go and read it to him and to translate it, so he really, I mean, he speaks English, but so he really understood that I was trying so hard, but that I was coming, you know, I was coming to an end, and it didn't help. I think Josh, I'm sure Josh told me that like he was there crying, listening to the letter, but it didn't change anything. And now I look back on it and, oh God, I'm gonna cry. Because now I look back on it and I think I was also terrible for my parents as a teenager, and they didn't abandon me and get rid of me, and I just did it to them. But I just didn't know what to do any longer. Like, it was just impacting our lives so much. So both boys left, and they moved back to their family villages. And for 2 years, I didn't see them. I didn't support them. It was then about 2 years on that I saw Grace, the older brother, and all these emotions and feelings came flooding back. I felt such guilt for what had gone down, and the fact that I had not managed to be there with them through it all. You know, I've done so much about, you know, how people try, like, I know they were teenagers, but how they test you, they push to see if you're going to leave them. And I felt that I did. They pushed, and I did. I mean, I tried, but anyway, after seeing Grace, I couldn't sleep. I was waking up in the night, like, essentially panicking. I was crying non-stop. I just, like, felt so bad. So we called them both to come back and to talk to them both. And at that point we decided we wanted to give them another chance. We still cared for them, we loved them. They'd gone back, maybe they'd learned, maybe they'd seen, you know, everything we were trying to do for them and everything. And we brought them back, and long story short, Grace had not changed his ways. I think Grace was also a really bad influence on Bazale. I wonder if Bazale would have ever behaved the way he did if it hadn't been for Grace. I do think they maybe thought, she's going to leave us one day. Everyone leaves us, you know, parents. The charity that had initially supported them had stopped, and then I think they thought I would. So maybe they just thought, whilst we're here, let's get what we can, you know. Anyway, Grace hadn't changed. I will be pleasant if I ever see Grace, but I can't. I won't allow him in my house anymore. But Bazale had completely changed his ways, and we just welcomed him back with open arms, basically. Initially we started by deciding to hire him at CEDA, but he very slowly but surely made his way back into our home, and it feels like those 2 years never even happened, really. It's been 10 years now that I've known him. I can't believe it. He still feels a bit like a kid. I know he's actually a full-grown man now, really. But because of all that went down, he never finished school. Which is why now he's been with us. He's definitely proved himself to us, and he is so helpful. He is a bit like having a teenage boy around. He also drives us absolutely crazy, and if we didn't love him, we would have definitely kicked him out by now, despite how much he helps us, because he also drives us absolutely insane. But he's always had the best personality. He's so good with the kids. Like, you could just always just hear him like singing Frozen, or we've always loved Bazale, and I'm so glad that he turned things around. But anyway, that is why we are now finally deciding to put him back through school. He's much more responsible and mature now than he was all those years ago. Yeah, so known him for 10 years, but he's our family. The kids love him. I can't imagine that's something that's going to be really, really hard if we do manage to get to the UK, because Bazale is very much part of our family. I would love to at least get him a passport and hope one day, I know it's so hard, but that he can maybe come over on tourist visas or something. I know it's so hard to get that, but that would be the dream. But yeah, now the plan is just to support him as much as possible. He's now he's doing his secondary, and we're also looking into maybe doing a vocational thing as well during the day, and just, yeah, we'll just see. But we'll be here for him now. Yeah, anyway, that's Bazale's story. Been very up and down, really hard at times, but yeah, we've been supporting him for 10 years now, and we don't plan to stop. So obviously I'm hoping he becomes an adult and he becomes self-sufficient, but we will support him all the way until he is able to do that. Anyway, that's the end of the video. So if you have any more questions about Bazale that you want to ask him, just, yeah, let us know in the comments. You can come and help me answer. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again in the next video. Bye guys.
Came along, couldn't